Professor Griff says about Nas, it's so much stuff that he's said that I've seen that I haven't even known that he said before I went and researched these things myself.
Like, I felt like out of all the mainstream artists, he really was the one to kind of expose some of the stuff that was going on and kind of speak out against it. You know, not like Tupac did. I don't think he went as far as that. But at the same time, he did kind of come out at them.
I think Nas in a clever way, and we have to respect Nas for this. Beautiful brother, talented artist, but he has to juggle this thing like we got to juggle this thing. He got to survive. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think he was up in that space. I think some shit was revealed to him, and he said, look, if I don't play both sides of this thing to get out of this shit alive, I'm going to end up like Tupac. Personally, that's what I feel. Nas may be watching this. I know Nas. Nas knows me. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling watching Nas in the moves that he's making.
Throughout his whole life, because Nas, to me, I felt like they always tried to position Nas in Jay-Z's position. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, I feel like they approached each artist from different coasts, the main artists at the time, and approached them with the same ultimatum.
Right.
And the ones who they felt like didn't want it and were probably going to reveal something, they ousted.
Right, but you know, it's an interesting point simply because I tell people all the time. Right, but you know, it's an interesting point simply because I tell people all the time, you don't choose them, they choose you.
Right.
So they had their eye on Nas for a long time. Now, we can't sit there and say for sure that they approached Nas, but I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet some money that they did. Look at his career and some of the things that he was trying to do. You understand? On a street level, trying to survive in the industry. He was battling Jay-Z at the point where he flipped and signed with Jay. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. You just ate his ass alive with the ether. You understand what I'm saying? But yet you're going to go sign with your rival? Come on, something's up with that. Right. See, that's the Hegelian dialectic principle. With the people, to black people, in and out of music, in and out of education and politics. I said, oh, wow, this is a lot deeper than I ever thought. So when I started actually putting up physical charts and connecting people's names, I said, oh, if it's happening with the World Council of Churches, with the Creflo Dollars and the TD Snakes and the Eddie Wrongs and them, then it's happening in music. And sure enough, when I started pulling the cover off of Sony, started pulling the cover off of MCA and some of these major record companies at the time, it's there. There's a man by the name of John Todd. If you put his name in the search engine, he talks about, I should have turned that off. That's the Roots, by the way. You heard the Roots' new album? Yeah, that's kind of fly. But anyway, John Todd actually talks about how they had a secret chamber down below the record company where they used to take your master, put it on the altar, and do rituals around your music.
I've heard of that.
This is real. I was shocked to see the Jay-Z's and the Damon Dash and these kind of people, their behavior wasn't like it was early on. They were strictly hood. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then I'm like, well, what is it about belonging to the Billionaires Boys Club that makes you change and get disconnected from the hood? Do you understand what I'm saying? I said, oh, they taking the oath. See, the Illuminati, the holders of the light, infiltrated the Masonic Lodge. Now, for the Masons that are out there watching this, you don't know a damn thing about this. I ain't talking about your average Mason down the street that know a couple little handshakes and little code words. I'm not talking about him. He don't know anything about this. The Illuminati infiltrated. If you study Myron Fagan, the one who actually brought this information to light, he did a thing called the CFR. The CFR is the Illuminati in America. Myron Fagan. And he was basically saying the Illuminati infiltrated the Masonic Lodge and actually was the one that set up camp in the Masonic Lodge and actually initiated some of these people in the Masonic Lodge. And once the Kanye West and the Nas and these kind of people kind of took that oath, it's a wrap, man.
So let me ask you this, like with Nas, especially. Like,
I don't understand the deeper side.
That Blueprint 3, we understand, the Blueprint 3, like once I found out Jay-Z studies Alexander Cromley, which is
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley. I apologize. He's basically like the Messiah of the new age movement. They all refer back to him. And when I seen that "Do As Thou Wilt" on his shirt,
which is the whole of the law.
Yeah. When I seen that on his shirt, and I hear him talking about evolution is progress.
Right.
Basically meaning ushering in the new age. And when they put out that video on to the next one, which I feel like, listen, because I'm going to keep it funky, right? Because that's what I know how to do. Y'all know me. When I listen to that song, I feel some type of way. When I went to that concert, I seen some stuff on that, you know, because all the designs y'all do when y'all do the shows and stuff like that. So he had this one thing on there where it was like a whole bunch of swirls. And you seen a picture of like Satan, like the vampire Satan, like the Dracula face Satan. And you seen a black church behind there. And it was like the hypno sign, like with all the swirls and stuff like that. I actually have it on my phone because I was in the concert. And I asked my one man in Houston, like, you know, did you go to the concert, whatever. He's like, yeah. And I asked him about that one particular scene. He said he did the same thing at that concert too. So I'm thinking like you're putting together this Big Blueprint 3 tour. Doing that, you know, with the hypnos and stuff, is you trying to go around and hit me? Because I mean, and look, Phyllis was packed. There's about like 30,000 people in there almost, it felt like. You know what I'm saying? So if all these people are seeing that one sign, what do you think that means? Like
Jay won because he initiated all of y'all. You went through the ritual.
I'm salty about it. I gotta throw away my Blueprint 3 season.
No, you actually went through the ritual. They study your esoteric agenda, where they tell you certain times of the year, every year, they have to spill large amounts of blood. They have to pull, they're like psychic vampires. They have to pull your energy. 30,000 people throwing up the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, throwing up the Baphomet. Oh, they got you. They got your energy. You drained, dude. You leaving there dizzy.
Yeah, I'm about to say I didn't throw that.
Yeah, so this I feel like is where he predicted all the Zeus and baddies and all this spent flavor. I always said this to everybody around me that all that stuff is a Flavor of Love spinoff. Every last Reality Love, whatever, every last one of them is a spinoff. Even I said that about artists. I remember I used to say that about artists all the time. How every artist was a spinoff rapper to Lil Wayne, and now he's coming out saying it in his own music. And we see now, you know, the only people who see it is the ones who actually cared about the genre or music itself. So let me continue.
He basically started that whole movement. Once they seen they can capitalize on flavor, I felt like that's what they catapulted the whole situation. So, if you ask me, I feel like, you know, he started the cancer.
Exactly. Well, I can agree with you. I cannot be on film and be a hypocrite and say, well, and try to stick up and justify the buffoonery. You understand what I'm saying? My position inside of the circle was like, look, dude, we're the most socially conscious, politically conscious.
This is where he also predicted the feminism in hip hop. Lil Nas X, Young Thug, the Freemasonry of hip hop, the LGBT. It's all just under one umbrella. They encrypt. They just, you know, got everything under one, and that's what they want. Just one world order.
All the multinational corporations, these other people, they're gonna control hip hop and take it off its course. And the next step, the next movement in hip hop, is straight up gonna be some effeminized.
They're definitely doing the homogenics thing. They're combining both of those real heavy. They're trying to make the blue and the red go together and make a swirl real quick.
Right. So now it's cool to wear pink underwear matching your teeth and matching your belt buckle and saying little cute shit on stage and
I like to call it voguing. That's what
basically when Young Thug got on stage calling Rich Homie Quan his bae. And Rich Homie Quan replied back on stage when he performed by saying he not with none of that Young Thug gay shit. Man, it's just all out there, y'all.
It's a whole vogue. Yeah. Like you go in, everybody's voguing. Whatever happened to the partying and just really, you know, like right now they turned the club into an institution because you got the floor, which is the peons. You got the medium VIP, which is for the average people, and then you got the celebrity VIP.
Yeah, the stained glass windows.
Right. So they broke it down into 3 stages. So to me, that's like an institution too.
He is doing the bidding of his masters.
He's doing a great job, though. That's why they're rewarding him with basketball teams, and that's why Jay, for real, y'all gotta understand, Jay is the most powerful man in hip hop right now. Not Puff Daddy, not 50 Cent. Jay-Z. Well, he does the bidding of his masters as well. That's what I'm saying.
I beg to differ with that. The most powerful men in hip hop, we don't see.
Oh yeah,
they don't have mics.
Right.
They ain't gotta go on stage and clown and, you know, buck dance. They don't.
Well, you can say he's the most powerful face that they're using. Like he's the ultimate to where
exactly
he does what they tell him to
Well,
do
that's the same
to
thing
the
with
team.
Barack Obama. I mean, he's the most powerful face. And this man, Zbigniew Brzezinski, made that very
It's
clear.
not Barack, though, it's Barry. I don't know.
True.
I know Barry.
But the Grand Chessboard explains it. Zbigniew Brzezinski, you'll probably never heard of this dude. He's probably 80 years old. But if you just put his name in the search engine, Zbigniew Brzezinski, the Grand Chessboard, you understand what I'm saying? You will be surprised at the money that was put up to make sure Barry, thank you, was selected before he was elected. That's all I got to say on that.
So let me ask you this about the house situation with your house getting burnt down. Do you think the Illuminati has something to do with that, to try to send you a message to try to quiet you, or?
Well, this is something I've never really said on film. I've said it on film, but I had that particular tape locked away in my safe behind my desk, and no one has ever heard me say this. But I think it's time that we kind of get this out in the open. That
And what he just said there is, do he think that the Illuminati and whatever was responsible for burning down his house? This is the reason why I don't show my face. They're using AI to analyze everything. And pretty soon I feel like the information that we have available on the internet about these kind of topics is not going to be available, like widely available at all anymore. They're going to take this stuff down because their job is to publicly say out of their mouth that they're not a part of it. But there might be a chance that they do take these things down because they don't want us to actually know, but they have to show us. One of their jobs is to show us that they're in it, but to lie about it. So they'll play double agent, like Uzi Vert said in one of his songs. They 666. That's why they hate us. I'm not saying this, but they say I'm, so let's do it. Like that.
that these people silence me. Plain and simple. I've told you about people that I had to deal with right in front of my door right here. You understand what I'm saying? I tell people, look, when you call me, know that this conversation is being listened to. Plain and simple. I can't tell you how many times my MySpace, Facebook, email accounts, websites get shut down. You understand what I'm saying? I know they listening. You understand what I'm saying? To a degree, I know these days are numbered for me. You understand what I'm saying? But I have to do what I have to do because I know they got to do what they have to do. My house burning down, that wasn't no accident. That wasn't no accident. But I'm not tied to the material. You know, this is where I do photography and make music in here, and I ain't skip a step. And I really appreciate all the people like, your people, y'all's people stepping up. Brothers just putting money in my hand when they see me in the street. They was going online and going to PayPal and putting money in my account.